Hey guys, and welcome back to Olivegrey Avenue. My name's Ruth, and today we are building a TV console. I have this beautiful palette of white oak, and I'm gonna build a dupe of a Restoration Hardware TV console that retails for about $5 grand. And I'm gonna make it for a fraction of that. You don't have to use oak, but I'm going to, because I want this to be quality, and this is gonna be good. So if you aren't subscribed below, make sure to do that and give this video a like. Let's get started. So I'm in the middle of the glue up of these panels. I have one here drying, the other one's there on the floor I did yesterday. It's gonna take some time because it needs some drying. Steve and I were talking about the plan, the design, everything last night. He mentioned that he thought it would be a good idea to have an internal frame for everything to attach to. It'll help make it more sturdy, more secure, and make sure everything is not warping and all that good stuff. So I agree with him. I went to Lowe's this morning to get some more lumber, and I am going to just build it out of 2x4s to have that frame for it to attach to. All the wood is cut down, all this right here. So it's everything for the frame except for maybe 2 pieces. I'm gonna try to assemble it as fast as I can because I gotta pick up baby. We gotta get this done. So Steve helped me switch out the blade on the circular saw so that it could be a fine tooth one because we're cutting a nice piece of furniture. I really want it to be like the best cut possible. I have my long clamp here to make sure it's nice and even and clean and straight, and I'm nervous. So let's cut it. So I was telling Steve that I messed up this first cut that I did, and I was so frustrated. And then I was telling him that I was going to do 3/4 inch, or like the wood on either side, so I need 3/4 inch clearance. And I don't have that back here with this cut. But he was like, just use like MDF or something on the back, no one's ever gonna see it. He's so right. So that's what I'm gonna do, and it works. So I still have this flipped upside down. I have the oak like footer on it, but I'm going to line the inside with plywood. So I'm gonna attach the top while it's flipped upside down, so it's just easier to attach. And then I will do everything, all the plywood on the inside to make it look pretty and finished. Up having to take the plywood off the top because I didn't remember that I'm attaching the oak from the inside, and I can't do that if the plywood's already there. So I took it off, I put it on the bottom, I'll put it back on the top, but anyways. So I have the oak panel here, I lined it up, I'm gonna clamp it and then screw through. So this is a it's a
2x4. So this is 1.5 and this is 3/4 inch. So I'm using 2-inch screws. It'll go through the 2x4 into the oak and secure it in place. So the backs are on. I was gonna put like some thin plywood or like MDF or something to cover the back, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. It looks fine. Like, it's the back. I am so frustrated. I made a ton of cuts and they were just too short or like bad cuts. I feel like I wasted a lot of wood. And these are 5.5 inches and I need 3 inches. So that means one board can only give me 1. Hopefully I can use it somewhere else. Anyways, I got the top and the bottom cut. I'm going to just tape it up there, measure the center pieces, make sure it all fits together okay before I start securing everything. So now I have to fill the cracks and crevices and nail holes. As much as I'd like to say it's perfect, it's not. Not all the seams are perfect. It's so hard to do it perfectly, and I'm not a master woodworker. I'm pretty amateur. So what we're doing is using sawdust and wood glue as our best friends. So I'm gonna mix these two. This is specifically oak sawdust from the boards I cut. So you wanna make sure to use that actual wood's sawdust. And they're gonna mix together. This is clear wood glue, and this is what'll make it all seamless and disappear into the wood. So we're gonna mix them together and fill the holes. I've never tried this before, but I've seen people use a screwdriver and roll it along the edge to kind of close a gap. So I'm gonna try it. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm gonna have to fix like 5% of what I was going to have to before. Highly recommend. To put the hinges on the doors. I got this concealed hinge jig. I have a bunch of leftover hinges from a project a long time ago, so that's what I'm gonna use, and they use this type of system. I've done it with just a router before. It's possible, but this is gonna be so much easier. doors with the concealed hinge. That means I need to bump out this side piece to attach the hinge to. So I cut this little piece of plywood, I glued two together so that they would be the right thickness, and made this little notch so it'll sit inside these trim pieces I just did. Sit there perfectly. I'm gonna screw it into place, and then the hinges will attach straight to here. All right, I have my door here. I got this Craig jig clamp so that it would make the perfect circle. I've done it before with a router. It works, but for like 20 bucks, this was definitely worth it. So I have some concealed hinges, and this is exactly what it's for. And you lock it in together and it creates that hole, and then it has other holes for the screws on the side. Now that the outside of the cabinet's done, we have to work on the inside because I want to add a shelf for all the things. So I am going to go around. I already marked some places. I'm gonna put some shelf pegs around the edge so that the shelf is movable. I don't see myself moving it, but I have the option if I want to. So I'm gonna do that and build the shelf to put inside. I'm gonna do a face front that's wood, so it'll match the outside, and then the rest will just be plywood. Finally made a decision on the stain. I'm a little nervous, but we're just gonna do it. What's the worst that can happen?